Hi everyone, this is Yana and you're watching Clean and Simple Die Cutting video series. In today's video, I'm going to make a stencil using a die from Spellbinders and create a snowy background using texture paste and glitter embossing powder for a holiday card. I've already die cut the snowy background using a die from Spellbinders. This is one of their newer dies from the Trendy and Simple line. What I love about these is that they are full card size, like A2 card size dies. There are a few different designs, and I've already shared several cards using those dies on my blog and also on my YouTube channel. I'll link to a few for you to check out. In order to use this die cut piece as a stencil, I'm going to add some stencil adhesive using this spray from Martha Stewart. I bought it a long time ago to use with Martha's stencils and also to restore stickiness on my Cricut mats, but I don't seem to use it very often these days, so I thought I could maybe use it here to make my die cut sticky. I'm spraying this in a color catcher box from Clear Snap. This is a special box to use with spray inks. You can see I've already used it a few times. It's a great tool to help you keep your work surface clean. No need to look for a box or anything like that, and it does fold into a smaller piece for easy storage. You can also skip this step and simply tape your die cut down using washi tape, but I felt I needed to add some sort of adhesive since this was a rather intricate die cut or intricate stencil. Anyhow, after I've sprayed this die cut, I'm going to place it on a piece of white cardstock. This is Nina's Solar White, and begin working on my background. Now, I forgot to mention that I used watercolor paper to die cut my fake stencil. I'm not sure if this is a good idea or not, but since watercolor paper is designed to take a lot of water, I thought I'd use it since I'll be adding some texture paste, which is wet. I didn't have any problems with this stencil or this die cut, so I'd have to say that watercolor paper was a good choice. But you can definitely try this with regular cardstock. So I'm going to add a good amount of embossing paste to my background for a nice thick coverage. I'm not an expert when it comes to this, but I simply like to stretch my dies and find more ways how I can use them. So today I'm not just die cutting them, I'm making a stencil and creating a fun background using that die cut stencil. And by the way, don't throw that stencil away after you're done. You can still use it, maybe to make another background like this, or maybe on its own as a fun die cut piece covered in embossing paste. Lots of options here which minimize the waste. After my background is completely covered with embossing paste, I'm going to carefully peel off my fake stencil and add kaleidoscope embossing powder from Spellbinders to my background. I've shared many videos with this embossing powder in the past, and I have to say I really love this product. You get a nice embossed glittery surface when you use it, and it's perfect for making fake snow and holiday cards. I'm then going to let this sit for about an hour or two and then come back and heat set that embossing powder with a heat tool. You don't want to use a heat tool right away or you will ruin your project. Now that my background is done, I can go ahead and start working on the rest of my card. I plan to make a vellum tag with a stamped and heat embossed holiday greeting. I'm using a stamp set from Hero Arts to do my stamping today. It's an older set, but I just really love the font there and the little banners. I'm going to stamp a banner using black ink onto some red cardstock. Next, I'm going to use a die cut tag, and I die cut this out of vellum using Spellbinders Celebrations tag die. And I'm going to heat emboss Warmest Greetings on my tag using white embossing powder. I did prep my tag surface using an anti-static powder pouch before I stamped that sentiment and added the white embossing powder. I made sure to leave some space in between the words so that I could fit my red banner in there. You can see I did a bit of practicing on a piece of cardstock before I actually embossed anything onto a tag. Now I'm going to come back to my red banner, which I had already cut out using my scissors. I'm going to use a black marker. This is a black distress marker, but you can use any marker you like, and just add a little bit of color to the edges. So I'm just going to paint the edges of this piece to make it look like the core of this paper is black and is not red. Once my tag is almost ready, I'm going to come back to my background and trim it to fit onto an A2 card. I'm going to use a die from Matting Basics A set from Spellbinders and just trim my paper, or I guess I should say die cut my paper on my Artisan Explorer machine. As always, I'm taping my die down to make sure it stays in place and doesn't move while I cut the paper. You can always use your paper trimmer to do this, but I just love that I get perfectly sized panels every time I use this die. It's so simple and really doesn't take any extra time. Next, I'm going to make a card base using Hero Art's black layering paper. I love using this paper for my colored card bases as it's only colored on the outside and is completely white on the inside. So I've already made an A2 top folding card, and I'm going to use some black foam tape to adhere my background panel for a bit of dimension. The tape that I'm using is from Imaginas. It's a discontinued product, but I know that Ranger and Scrapbook adhesives both have similar tapes, so you can use those. I'm also going to use 2 more sets from Spellbinders and die cut some bits and pieces to embellish my tag. So I'm going to use this tree set and die cut a little bird. I wanted to die cut a birdhouse first, but thought that a bird would be a more appropriate choice for this card. And also use a second set to die cut a few Christmas trees out of red cardstock. Those tiny pieces are going to help me finish my tag and will give it a more festive look. You can skip this part and maybe stamp something else here, or maybe use a rub-on or wood veneer or enamel embellishment, but I wanted to use this tiny die cut pieces. So after I've added those to my tag, I used multi-matte medium from Ranger to adhere them down. Finally, I added a bit of red foam tape behind the red banner, and this was actually the only place on my tag that was large enough to hide that adhesive. I also stapled a bit of red twine to the top of my tag using Weir Memory Keeper stapler, and that finished my card. I hope you enjoyed watching my video. You can find the list of supplies to create this card in the video description and also on my blog. If you're looking for more videos using products from Spellbinders, be sure to check out the link you see on the screen. Please click the thumbs up button if you'd like to see more videos like this. Thanks, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I have new videos coming out every week. Thanks, and bye!